Hey, happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. Ooh, I'm splitting on a crescent moon. Just so happens we're in new full moon energy. That's definitely some. So this reading may be, strength in the moon. So there's somebody who's maybe possibly feeling empowered by the full moon energy. I'm getting, a Knight of Swords. I guess I'll take it. So this message may be for a Knight of Swords who's feeling really empowered by the moon. Wow, I've had a lot of messages coming out for the masculines lately. Most of the time I usually read for Virgos or Divine Feminines because, that's like the energy I resonate with. Let's see if there's any more, and then I'll swap to an oracle. Ooh, so we have the World reversed, which means somebody's refusing to complete a cycle, and we also have Page of Swords. So sometimes Page of Swords can be like a spying energy, but it can also just signify news, like somebody bringing news, a messenger bringing news. It can also represent a young, intellectually curious person or somebody with some quick thinking, maybe a message of caution, and or somebody who has a thirst for knowledge. So maybe this message is for a Knight of Swords who's trying to understand the world, but the world is upside down. So he doesn't understand. So, all right. So, usually when we see the world card will represent a completion, you know? So maybe one of you guys are out here wondering is something over? It's almost kind of like a hanged man, but it's not. The hanged man is when you feel stuck, right? Or calmly waiting. And this is somebody's looking at something that seems like it should be at an end or over, but it also doesn't feel over. So maybe it makes you feel confused because it's both seems over but doesn't feel over. So maybe that could be like divine. Sometimes there's things called divine timing, right? So it's not that something isn't meant for you, it's just not meant for you at that time. Ooh, and then I went to split King and Queen of Pentacles together. So maybe this is like somebody you're meant to come together with at some point in the future, but so it's over for now, but it'll come back around one day for this Two of Wands. So you may identify yourself as a King of Pentacles. You may or may not, but we'll just take it just anyways. Ooh, 5 Cups, yikes. So you're trying to get into this Two of Wands energy, but the Ace of Pentacles is upside down. So, here's the thing about Pentacles, right? Everybody wants to have a reading about Pentacles, but Pentacles is the slowest moving energy in the whole deck. The Pentacles are an Earth energy, and so they just take a while. So let's see what Spirit has for you. Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles energy. Unless the King of Pentacles is somebody else in your energy who's involved in the cycle that, you may be involved in a cycle with this King of Pentacles. So maybe this King of Pentacles is like your dad or a boss or an older brother. I'm getting possibly somebody who's in a position of authority over you, but not just in a position of authority, but somebody who has the money to call the shots. The person who has this person is in their authority. Oh, or maybe you're you wish this cycle with this King of Pentacles would come to an end and you really want it to stop, but it seems like it just keeps going. So every time you think it's over with, it's just not over with. I'm going to get like one more of these, and then I'm going to swap to another oracle deck. Ooh. So we have a fish, a bee, and the raccoon. At the bottom, we have the elephant. I always like the elephant. Elephant's a nice energy. So the raccoon is like that night energy. And, oh, where did I put my... So usually the bee energy is fantastic, which is some air and water. Oh, I opened right to the fish, dude. So that this fish energy speaks to restlessness, change of focus, and lost in the current. So maybe, like, especially with this world card reversed, maybe it's like instead of feeling completed with the cycle, you're feeling lost in the cycle. So now you're like, you don't know if you're at the beginning of it, at the end of it, where you even at in this. You may just really feel distracted, and you can't you can't make up your mind about where you want to be, right? So the book is saying that most likely means that your fish energy is just out of balance. And to bring it back into balance, you need to start with setting small goals and working on really like your goal for the day. Like when you wake up in the morning, you can say, this is what I want to do today. And your goal is just to accomplish those things before you go to bed, and or set a smaller goal. Like I want to save this amount of money, or I want to go take a class to do this. And it says the fish loves to be subsumed in life's currents, and nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all of the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. And we saw the moon out here, so I feel like this is totally for you. So I feel like you are this Knight of Swords, and I sometimes Page of Swords reads to me like another person, but for you, I don't feel like it's another person. I feel like this is a part of your mind. I feel like this represents like a train of thought you have. So I'm also gonna flip to the. So let's go to the bee. Yeah. All right. So the bee talks about being earnest, hardworking, and democratic, but when out of balance, which is this upside down, so this means your bee energy is out of balance. It means you are overworked and very annoyed. And to bring it into balance, you need a mini vacation. Ah. Okay, you need a mini vacation. It says the bee polite. Oh, ooh, the bee personality. Well, I don't know. Maybe you need to work on your politeness. But it says the bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures aware of the many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. And then they gripe. And then they sting. So this is showing that like right now, you're really just overwhelmed and overworked. So we saw like this fish energy where it's the go, go, go. And the bee is also this really hardworking energy. But it looks like, so you know what? Maybe it's like when we saw this world, maybe the world is just like this cycle of really hard work you're in right now. Oh. And so you really just need to give yourself a break. That's what it looks like to me, is that you just need a break. You need a break. And I feel like you need to give yourself a break before your body breaks and forces you into it, because it's going to be worse if you. So the raccoon speaks to being talented, shadowy, and in hiding. But this is imbalance, and it says you're a generous friend and an exceptional artist. It says raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in its favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So it looks like it, it looks like this is for somebody who's creating something brand new. Okay, so you're creating something brand new and you've been working really hard and you're just really overworked and overwhelmed. If you are this King of Pentacles energy, maybe what you just need is you need a break to get a good night's rest, since we saw these moons out here. So we have 2 moons present, right? And this raccoon is also some night energy. So I really feel like you just need a break. You need a rest, because if you're this creative energy who wants to make something, but you also have this like to constantly be in motion and constantly being busy and working really hard. And there's nothing wrong with being a really hard worker, you know. Some people are just born to work and enjoy doing the work, you know. Like I'm somebody who enjoys doing work. I like working and doing a good job, you know. So sometimes, but you know, sometimes those of us with that personality trait, sometimes we can be guilty of doing it to the extreme, you know, to where we've gone from just being a hard worker who does things well to just burning our candle at both ends, you know, to where we've overworked to the point where now you're not being able to fulfill this artistic energy that's within you, who wants to create something beautiful. So you want to create something and you want to put your soul into something, but you're so burnt out from these energies because you've been working really hard for a long time on something that never seems to end, you know? But it's okay to take a break. It's okay to, I feel like deep down, you know what you need. And I feel like you need to, deep down, you know what you need. And you should acknowledge that within yourself, you know? You know, at the end of the day, we're all people, okay? We're human beings, and you're a human being also, okay? And whatever it is you're working on, it can't possibly like fall apart because you get a good night's rest, you know? Because like um whatever it is you're trying to do, it's like if it's gonna fail because you just like catch your breath, then maybe it's not meant to succeed, you know? Nothing should come at the expense of your well-being. So, and we have perception. Yeah, so it's like you can't even see that because of what's going on, you're not grounded, you're losing your natural rhythm. And this would be overthinking. You would be overthinking, but you're cooked right now. So your energy is totally cooked. You can't listen, you can't hear what you need, you can't be spontaneous. Dude, all these cards are like upside down, bro. Dude, you have the next four or five cards, or these are all reversed energy, dude. This is really bad, dude. You're really, oh, but right side up is creativity, you know? So it's like some part of you really wants to be this creative force, but your emotions are all blocked up. You can't be spontaneous. Like, you really want to be in the moment and do something on the spar, but you keep like not being able to open up to that. You're losing out on your well-being. Even your playfulness is like coming at risk, you know? And then your imagination is also being stifled. So you want to be in this creative energy, but you can't access your imagination. Your adaptability, sweetness, dude, these are all reversed. Look at it. Dude, these would all be like great energies for you, and it's all like turned upside down. It's all upside down because you really just need to take a break. Yes, see, it's putting you into this state of confusion, and spirit is guiding you to love yourself, okay? Because when you take time to love yourself, you're going to hone your mind in, which is going to go back to your creative energy. So give your mind a break, dude. Give your mind a break. Be present. You need to practice some mindfulness. See, and here's see the light, be the light, but it's upside down. So you can't even see the light right now. You're not taking care of yourself. So you're not magnetizing, or you're not being able to manifest this creative endeavor you want to do because you're just you're too overworked. Subtle energy, it's not even subtle anymore. I bet you already know it. And now we have the unknown. So maybe, you know what? Maybe you're going through like a spiritual awakening. Are you like going to be a divine masculine, or in the process of becoming a divine masculine? Maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening, and so like that's where you're getting this confusion, and in your mind and your creativity is like, why am I feeling so fucked up? But you need to stop and there's so much like wait patiently and trust, but you're not trusting the process you're going through. But something's going to be illuminated for you, and then we see this moon up in the corner, right? And then there's a moon right there. There's a moon right here. So I feel like this full moon cycle is hopefully going to help you out and clear you out, because like behind that is lots more reversed energy, dude. Your energy is super reversed right now, bro. You need it. You know what? You need a break, dude. You need a break. You need a break. You need to rest, and you need to go take a break, okay? So just take a break, give yourself, cut yourself some slack, stop being so hard on yourself. Nobody's perfect. You know what? Everybody has flaws, and we're all of us. Look, I don't care where people are at on their journey, okay? Even if you see people who you think have it all together, I'm sure they're on a healing journey somewhere within themselves too. Nobody's perfect, okay? Nobody. If you see people who seem like they're perfect and have no flaws, then those people are just really good at hiding what it is that they need to be working on, okay? Everybody has stuff that they need to work on. You don't need to be ashamed that you don't have all your shit together. So what? Sometimes we don't have all our shit together. That's, oh yeah, and look, here, I was going to get you a fortune cookie and you got burnout. It says your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. So check in with your doctor, dentist, and health professionals and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So I feel like right now, this lifestyle you're doing for work is not a healthy lifestyle. And you also have personal riches. So it says small successes are likely now and bigger ones are on the way. Finances could improve dramatically, but avoid get rich quick schemes. So maybe be careful if people are trying to get you to go in on bets to make a bunch of money. Don't do it. You also have jealousy, and it says watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. So maybe, you just need to go outside. You need to spend some time outside. Oh, and then at the bottom we have reinvent yourself. A transformation is taking place. Oh, I just said that you're having a spiritual awakening. So it says enjoy a new lease on life. All right. So here's what you need to do. You need to get outside. You need to go be in nature, right? So part of a spiritual awakening, when we go through a spiritual awakening, we'll have like an ego death. And the ego death means you need to die to the way you used to see and view everything. And as you go through this awakening, when you come out the other side, you're gonna have a new and different way that you see things. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. The way you're seeing things, you just need to reconnect with yourself. You need to reconnect with yourself. You need to let yourself breathe. You need to be able to breathe, okay? Because this cycle that you've been in is not good for your body, and if you don't stop, your body will force you to stop. Do you hear me? I'm telling you right now that if you do not take the time to take care of your body is going to stop you. I'm telling you this. That's 100%. 100%. Feel like I should give you a roomie. Holy Spirit, can we give her a closing roomie for our divine masculine here? Or who's becoming a divine masculine, somebody's spiritual awakening? Yay. I mean, yay, you're going through a spiritual awakening. So even if it feels really rough, don't be discouraged, dude. Maybe in a dark night of the soul. A lot of people who go through spiritual awakenings go through a dark night of the soul. This one? Star Mother Arrakis. It says, be the king who has made his own kingdom. Our Star Mother keeps an eye on all the wild games happening in the sacred playground of the earth, shining her divine justice and protection. No bully shall prevail over you. No bully from within shall prevail either. You are the child, so secure in the love of our mother that you can trust life and your ability to face whatever comes implicitly. So you're being really encouraged right now, despite whatever you're going through. Yep. We also have this, which is the cloak of Christ. And it says, in the school of humanity, you reside on the king's throne. So we have 2 cards about a king. So I told you, divine masculine, waking up. Your soul has been ravaged and you are succumbing to weariness. That which plagues you is not as powerful as you fear. Exhaustion is not a sign that something must be done, so much as a sign that something must be received and allowed. Accept divine refuge right now. Yes, refuge. See? You see? You need a break. You need a break. You need a break, and you need some rest, and you need to go take care of yourself, okay? You need to take care of you because you're going through something right now. And when you come out the other end, you're going to be a new and improved version of you, okay? You're waking up. You're probably going to, this process causes people to exit the matrix. And sometimes that's not always easy because it's asking us to leave behind what we've always been told to see the world in a new way. But you know what? Even though that makes some people uncomfortable, in the end, it's very self-empowering, okay? And it's going to help you connect with your inner self and help you love yourself because you really need to love yourself. And just remember that you're worthy of being loved. And you're not just worthy of being loved by somebody else, but you're worth of loving yourself. You have value. It's not for other people to tell you what you're worth. All that matters is what you're worth to yourself, you know? So that's all I have for you for this one. I do have a Discord that's free to join, which you can find in my links. And if you like this reading, I do offer personal reads, which you can purchase through my coffee. And if you do a monthly subscription through my coffee, you can get 1 free reading every month. So that's it. Thanks and have a great weekend.